Page 120, Rondino. 3/4 time, no sharps or flats except maybe an accidental here and there. Let's talk about it. Lots of eighth notes in the right hand. Starting up here on G. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. It's just a bunch of eighth notes. Playing it all legato. You got to come over here for the third finger there in the last measure, the first line. That's an octave. Go to the second line, it's an octave. You're going to lift up because of the phrase, but you can feel it if you want to, is here. And then immediately after you play it, you can collapse. Then you play the second line. And when you finish the second line, you're here. And then for the third line, just lift up and move down. It's the end of a phrase. Lift up. And so forth. In the last measure of the third line, you have that F sharp. Cross over. Here, and then reach up. That's an octave to go on. Like so. Left hand, quarter notes, octave. Play the left hand all legato. Octave, and then thumb. Then you reach up for the thumb. And then here. When you go to the third line here, now you're going to have to lift up. There you can't do legato, but here you can lift up. F sharp. Last line, let's look at this. You have two voices going on here. You hear, then thumb, thumb. That half note is tied, so while you're playing, while you're holding it down, you're going to play the D and the G. All the time you're holding that down. You need to lift both up and move. And go back to the top. Put hands together. I just don't think I really need to play this for you. I mean, it's straightforward. The only tricky part about it would be the last line there when the left hand has multiple voices. So the last line you're here. Right here. Hold that down. Hold the G down as you... And on the left hand here at the end there, the eighth notes, when you go, the D, C, Al, Fini sends you back to the top where you have a C. Connect the eighth notes to the C. Don't lift up there. No. Let the eighth notes lead into that C. Connect them. The right hand you can lift up. So the last two measures down there is here. So I lift up here, but not here. Articulation-wise, it's all legato except for the phrasing in the right hand and a little bit in the left, not much. Dynamic-wise, moderately loud at the top. That's the right hand. You'll have to decide what moderately loud is. I don't know. In the second line, you come down to soft, sort of like an echo. That's the right hand. The left has to be very soft. Now the third line, now you're loud. That's the right hand. And then the last line, come down a little bit to moderately loud. And you're moderately loud at the top, just the same. Then at the end of the second line, it says last time poco ritardando between the stabs. That means after you do the D, C, Al, Fini and you go back to the top and you're doing it for the last time, the third time, you slow down a little bit. Not a lot, just a poco riz, just a little slow down. Last 2 minutes. Slow those down too, a little bit. And that's the end. So roadmap wise, you have a repeat sign at the end of the second line. So you're going to play the first 2 lines twice. Then you go, you do the bottom 2 lines, and then you go back up to the top and you do the first 2 lines again. I don't know. As far as the speed goes, it says moderato, which is somewhere in the middle. It's about where I've been doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Those eighth notes have to be even though, so if you can't do it that fast, then slow it down because accuracy is more important than speed. So, but this isn't a fast piece, so hopefully you can learn to do this one. I like to play through it with you and double check the notes and the rhythm. So I'm going to give us 3 counts. Now let's just go real slow on this. Make sure we got all the notes and the rhythms. And I'm not going to do the dynamics, but I'm going to do the repeat and the DC and all that stuff. 1 and ready and go and 1